You're listening to Today I Effed Up, where OP just wanted to grab some man titties. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional, I have very poor reading skills and are only doing this as a hobby to help myself improve. But thank you for listening to me read like a 5-year-old and I hope you enjoy. This one's brought to us by Rebuilds. Today I effed up by trusting my dad when he wanted to show me something. Obligatory, this happened about a month ago. So I'm at home a little sitting in my room, browsing YouTube as one does. Suddenly my dad bursts in the door and tells me he has something to show me. I asked him what, and he tells me to come look at the TV. There's a lot of crazy news on these days, so I asked him what's up. He tells me that the CNN is doing a report on the stock market and it's hard to explain. But he wants me to come take a look right now. He emphasizes that I have to come quickly. Normally I wouldn't want to see, but I figured something interesting has happened, like the GameStop that happened earlier this year. Plus, it couldn't really hurt. I wasn't doing anything anyway, so I decided to hear him get up and followed him to the living room. I immediately was greeted by 4 realizations. The TV is on, but it's not playing CNN. It's the fact that MTV is doing a throwback right now with 80s music. Never Gonna Get You Up music videos being played. And I've been rickrolled by my dad. Fuck. Turns out that my brother told him all about the meme. It was unfortunate of his first victims. The most old-fashioned rickroll I'd ever seen, but I have to give him credit. TLDR. Dad told me that he had something to show me about this CNN report. Turns out it was MTV and he rickrolled me. Damn OP. Getting rickrolled is harsh. Okay, this next one's from Sandalcade. I completely forgot about this story, but my cousins reminded me of it this afternoon. I was about 15 years old when this happened to me, so quite a while ago. Please be kind, and I was a dumb kid once. In any case, we were at a street festival and my cousins and their parents were visiting from a town. So we were all out that evening exploring the festival. I somehow ended up holding a bunch of everyone's paper cones and the cotton candy came on. So I found a bin to put them into and we're heading back to find my family. There was a massive crowd in it, because at some point some guy was bungee jumping off a crane. But in the crowd I spotted my cousin's jacket. I had a habit of grabbing his man boobs because it was annoying him so much, and to me and my brother and other cousins, we of course found it hilarious. So I walked up behind him, squeezed them, and I squeezed them really hard. What followed was a hoarse, gurgling scream, followed by multiple blows to my head and neck. I had absolutely no idea what had happened at this point, so I just kept saying sorry to him whilst blocking my face. And when I stepped back a bit, I realised that this was not my cousin. It was an old woman in her 80s who had the exact same jacket on. I screamed I was so sorry and I effing bolted. There was police there already at the spot patrolling. And they walked up to the commotion. I had found my family and frantically told them that we had to leave, to which my dad annoyingly said, "Come on, just use the public toilet for once in your life." Yes, of course, I was one of those kids, because he had thought that's what I needed to do. But no, the police came to me, they had a chat with my parents and explained it and apologised to the woman profusely, who was still understandably and rightfully very, very upset. The cops sort of understood the situation, especially when they saw my cousin's identical jacket, and just gave me the whole, "This is why you don't mess around" spiel, and my cousins laughed for ages. Too long, didn't read. Saw a jacket I knew, squeezed some old titties. Oh man, OP. I would just die if this happened to me. This next one is from a News Slug 1710. This took place early today. I've hardly stopped laughing since the incident occurred. Today I went for a job interview at a local store. Only a few members of staff work at the store, and it was down to the manager, we'll call him M, and the assistant manager AM to interview me. I turned up 10 minutes early and AM escorted me to the break room and offered me a glass of water, and we had a bit of small talk. The job sounds pretty good. Some of the questions I asked them, between pleasantries, the manager walks into the break room and invites me to come out the front to the desk where we'll conduct the interview. The interview starts and I feel like things are going rather well, as the pair are responding well to my questions and I feel confident in my responses. We get part way down the second page of the interview sheet and halfway and I burp, and it is not a burp. All of a sudden, sick fills my mouth. My hands instinctively slap over it to stop it from coming out. I swallow the first mouthful, but then the sprinkler goes off. Vomit erupts from my mouth, spewing down my shirt and onto the interviewer's desk. As I stop being sick, I just say, I'm not getting the job, am I? But the two members of staff are scrambling to find some paper towels as my face mask waterboards me with my own vomit. I pull off the mask and my gloves and stand in shock for a moment as the two staff ran out the back to find something better for the mess. I take the roll of paper towel left on the desk and clear the floor, my face and the desk, myself to the best I can. Emma's pregnant and has to run away to stop herself from being sick as well while I'm trying to think of what to do. I and AM are finishing clearing as much of the floor and desk as possible, and I just look at her and Em and say, well, I bet this is the first for everyone. AM starts laughing and trying to stop herself, and I can't help but smile like an idiot. The manager escorts me out and says that she'll call me back another day to finish the interview. She keeps saying she hopes that I don't have to go too far and other things while she's trying not to think about being sick. I leave and walk over to my car and I unbutton my vomit-drenched shirt. I can't help but laugh hysterically. I drove home and I'm laughing and smiling the whole ride whilst stinking and feeling kind of gross. Once I'm home, I tell my housemates and show them my shirt while unable to control my laughter. I don't think I'm going to get the job, but it has given me one of those crazies you wouldn't believe it unless it happened to you stories. Too long didn't read. I went to a job interview halfway through. I spontaneously vomited all down myself and proceeded to clear it up while trying not to laugh like a hyena. Oh man, OP. I think if that happened to me, I don't even think I'd say anything. I think I'd just run away and just hope I never have to see either of those two people's faces again. This next one is from the user, Crispy Mongoose. Full context, I own a restaurant here in the UK. We went from winter into another 2-month-long, very cold, very wet winter, until overnight suddenly the sun came out and the temperature shot way up about a week ago. This caused the customer's toilet door to warp a little, making it difficult to open. So today I decided to make it easier to open by sanding down the top of the door itself. There lies the irony in this tale. Remember it. After 20 minutes or so of rigorous sanding whilst perched atop of the restaurant chair, I decided to test it. Upon closing the door, I hear the latch that hasn't worked for over 5 years and is no longer connected to the handle itself clicks into place. That's probably not good, I think to myself. I try the handle, no dice. The door is firmly locked shut. I try harder, more urgently. Well, it seems due to all the customers over the last few weeks yanking on it to make it open, the handle has become weakened and has come off in my hand. Fuck. Never mind, there's still the disabled handle. I pull on it, no budging. I pull on it again, much harder, and it too comes off in my hand. Fuck. My phone is on the bar, less than 2 meters away from where I'm standing, but it's on the other side of the damn door, so it may as well be on the moon for all it's worth to me at this moment. It's noon. I'm the only person in the building. The front door is locked, the back door is locked. I'm the only person who has the key anyway. No one else is due until 5 p.m. My dog is chilling out the back on the decking, so no doubt busy sniffing daisies and barking at squirrel like he likes to do. But I'm fairly certain he's not going to be much use to coming to my aid. Even if he does somehow realise I'm right up shit creek, I'm totally screwed and claustrophobic. Panic is setting in, despite my reputation for being pragmatic and calm in a crisis. I have no way of telling anyone that I'm trapped in the customer toilet, even if they do come to the front door. What I have to do now is with the previously mentioned disabled handle. I have no choice but to grab the handle, which is now just a long piece of metal pipe, hulk out and smash a hole in the door big enough for a man of significant stature to crawl through, and then have a few stiff drinks to calm myself down, even after the eventual emancipation from the crabber. At least I got to have my own Here's Johnny moment, and no doubt I look just as demented as Jack Nicholson did when his eyes finally got to see the daylight once more. However, I definitely did not look as cool as Jack upon emergence, more like Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura 2 when he's exiting the Rhino. So I'm out, but now I have a gaping man-sized hole like something from a Looney Tunes cartoon in the customer's toilet door, and have to ring all of my bookings and explain how I locked myself in the toilet and had to bust down the door to escape and therefore can't open tonight. They all laughed at my expense, so there's that. To make it worse, it's a disabled door to accommodate wheelchairs, wider than a standard door, which is super expensive and nobody carries them in stock. And so what happened after last year, and only recently being allowed to open, I may even lose another 2 to 3 days of business. Too long, didn't read, locked myself in the customer's toilet while ironically trying to make the door easier to open, had to hulk out and smash through it with the disabled handle, lost much business. Damn, OP. I can't say I would have done much different, at least you didn't try use your shoulder to bust through the door and hurt yourself in the